You've probably seen them at the gym. You're minding your own business, but can't help it. Your eyes keep drifting over to the squat rack. In a sea of black and beige headphones emerges a pair of cans so colorful, their vibrant looks are enough to keep your heart rate going. You instantly recognize the product by brand logo alone. Perhaps you even gasp. You say aloud, "Nice Beats." Everyone applauds. While they may be a divisive brand for their overhyped base and lack of features, it's hard to ignore their ubiquitous presence. After nearly 5 years, they've released the Solo4, the successor to the Solo3, refreshed in 2019. On the surface, not much has changed. Their iconic look and feel remains intact, although available in a couple new colorways to help spice up your style. However, that can't be all that's changed, can it? If you're interested in all the details, then stick around, or check out our written review on our website. You won't miss a beat there. The Solo4 nail their look. Like the Solo3, these on-ears retain nearly the same round and playful design in a sturdy plastic frame. A standout detail is the cheeky little 4 on the metal hinge. It'll remind you what model you have, in case you collect Beats like some people collect Snickers. You'll find the Beats signature B logo on each cup. And on the left side, it even does double duty as controls, handling all audio-related functions like play and pause. The outer ring is a volume rocker, so it's easy to raise the volume when the song calls for it. Part of what makes Beats so popular are all the colorways available. On release, there are 3 different tints and tones available. Our model is a cool slate blue, but you can also pick up these in cloud pink and matte black if those better suit your aesthetic. In the past, Beats has even released new colors over time, so it may be worth checking back on these headphones if you prefer a different look. Since they're on-ears, they rely on their clamping force to stay in place. While previous iterations press our ears a little too tightly for comfort's sake, these have a bit more give. Less skull crushing hasn't made them any less stable though. You'll be able to wear them for long listening sessions without feeling significant fatigue. Plus, the faux leather ear cup padding helps keep you cushioned. There's silicone padding along the inside of the headband to keep them in place, whether you're walking to work or lifting weights. It can pull your hair though, and since these headphones also fold inwards to reduce their footprint, the hinges also have a tendency to take out strands of hair. Not ideal for those of us with long flowing tresses. If you want to take them with you on the go, their soft case helps shield them from dust and scratches. The case itself is fine, it feels durable, and has a full zip enclosure, but you sort of have to just shove your headphones into it, which doesn't feel very dignified. One thing to note is that like most on-ear headphones, they don't have an IP rating. So if you want to wear them to the gym, which I know some of you will, they aren't certified for water resistance. If you want to maintain the lifespan of your headphones, you should avoid exposure, and if you sweat a lot, you'll want to thoroughly clean them after each use. With the Solo4, the world is your oyster. You can connect to devices wirelessly via Bluetooth, using the audio jack with the included audio cable, and even by wired USB. In a departure from the 3rd gen, which lack USB connectivity, these headphones have a built-in digital to analog converter, or a DAC. The DAC allows you to listen to high-resolution lossless audio when wired, which is great for discerning audiophiles. If Bluetooth pairing takes too long for your liking, you can even use it to quickly watch old vines on YouTube. Keep in mind that in order to benefit from high-resolution audio, your content will need to be lossless though. While analog support is nothing new in this lineup, the addition of a TRS cable included in the box is quite handy. It'll only pass through audio though, so you won't be able to use the mic. If you're on the move and can't be bothered by cables, then Bluetooth's the way to go. Like newer Beats products, you'll notice the lack of the H1W1 chip. Although they're owned by Apple, it seems like Beats forgoes the seamless integration of their products into the Apple ecosystem for something a little more inclusive. These can support one-touch pairing on iOS and quick pair on Android, making connections a cinch. You won't be able to connect them to more than one device at a time though, which is a noticeable departure from the previous W1 chip-equipped gen. When it comes to Bluetooth codecs, it's not surprising that there's little support for anything outside of the basic SBC and AAC codecs. SBC also has high latency, so if you're watching a movie, you may notice that your audio and visuals are out of sync. Another point of departure for these cans is their sound. Long gone are the days where Beats would blow your ears out with extra bass. No, this time around, Beats lets you know up front that they've retuned and rebalanced their sound. Does it pay off? Well, they're a lot more neutral and balanced than the older models. The bass is more manageable, with just the right amount of thump and boom to keep mixes full-bodied and punchy without muddying the overall sound. Vocals and instruments like pianos and guitars have presence and clarity. That extra treble ensures a crisp sound with emphasized detail too, but it can also be a lot. The upper harmonics of these sounds can sound harsh, while sibilants like hi-hats are piercing. All this combined, you get a frequency response that's well suited for content like podcasts or folk music, but long listening sessions can leave your ears fatigued. Unfortunately, there aren't any sound customizations in their limited companion app either. For on-ears, their soundstage isn't the most impressive. Audio sounds like it's coming from inside your head, and the soundstage itself is narrow. It doesn't make for the most immersive experience. Luckily, that's where Apple's spatial audio comes in. Remember that I mentioned that Apple owns Beats? Well, these headphones can take advantage of spatial audio if you're connected to an iOS device. It's basically a head tracking feature found in your device's control center. Audio will follow your head movements rather than staying static in front of you. Android users will have to use a third-party software like Dolby Atmos for that dimensional sound. One of the biggest disappointments in these headphones is their microphone performance. They rely on their integrated mics to capture speech. Beats advertises that they use several beamforming mics as well as a voice targeting algorithm. Although we can't test these kinds of mics to their true potential, it's not looking good for them. Your voice lacks body and sounds muffled. Taking calls from a noisy environment like a busy gym can also pose issues. Speech will compete with background sound, making your conversation more difficult to follow for whoever's on the other line. If you care about noise isolation, then you'll also want to look elsewhere. I know, I'm sorry to disappoint you Solo Pro users out there looking for a replacement. These on-ears won't win any awards for blocking out noise since they don't have active noise cancelling. As a result, you'll hear a lot of that low rumble of plane engines or chatty Cathys at the office. For an app, you'll get a pop-up on iOS devices. It's pretty limited in scope, giving you the bare minimum features like checking your battery life and finding your Beats if you've misplaced them. You'll also get access to the same features on Android via the Beats app, but you'll have to download it first. As for battery life, we're talking nearly 50 hours of continuous playback time. That'll outlast long days at the office or on the go. And if that isn't enough, you'll be able to take advantage of fast fuel. 10 minutes of charging gives you up to 5 hours of battery life. Still need more? Their analog or USB cable can be used in a pinch. But which one should you buy? And what are the alternatives? At a time when most manufacturers are reducing their on-ear offerings in favor of over-ears and earbuds, Beats stands out from the crowd. If you prefer this design above all else, then it's definitely worthwhile to consider the Solo 4. After all, some people may find their fit more comfortable and breathable than the alternatives. They're also among the most premium wireless on-ears on the market. If their price is a bit out of reach, then you may want to check out the more affordable JBL Live 670 NC. At first glance, their blue colorway looks similar to the Beats, but don't let that fool you. They're packed with more features like a companion app with a parametric EQ and presets if you want something closer to the original bassy Beats sound. They even support multi-point pairing, so you can stay connected with 2 devices at a time. What you're saving in money does get reflected in their stability though. They can easily shift in positioning if you move your head, so intense head movements could cause them to completely fall off. There's no beating around the bush though. If you're willing to branch out and check out different headphone styles, you can find more versatile and better performing products at the Solo 4's price point. One such option are the similarly blue-toned Sony WH-CH720N. Thanks to their over-ear design, they're more comfortable. They also have a wide array of extra features available via their companion app, like a graphic EQ and 360 reality audio, which helps create a more speaker-like sound experience. You get ANC with this pick too, and while it's better than the Beats, it's lackluster in comparison to flagship models like the WH-1000XM5. They don't feel quite as well built as the Beats though, and they're less stable, so they can fall more easily during workouts. Well, that's it for our review of the Beats Solo 4 wireless. If you'd like to learn more, check out our written review. It's linked in the description below. Until next time, I'm Vanessa from RTINGS.com, where we help you find the best product for your needs. Goodbye! Did you have your water?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's coffee time, but I have my bubbly right there. You see, look, it's right there.
Because I don't want anybody to be hydrated or dehydrated. I don't want anybody to be hydrated today.
Vanessa is against hydration.
No hydration today.